Hey everybody, all the members, subscribers, everybody that's here. I think I left it open to everybody. Only subscribers and members can chat though. And yeah, so we're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, along with the main topic of the day, which is, it's the Olympic break time. Trade deadline is I want to say trade deadline is like a week and a half, 2 weeks after the end of the Olympics. And the Habs have a lot of decisions to make on what they're going to do. Questions with goaltending, questions about winger up front on line one, stuff like that. So, let's talk about that. And I hope there's people here with me. So let's see who's here. If you are here, by the way, just leave a comment and let me know you're here. Say hi, and if you have anything you want to talk about, let's go with that. I don't really have much other than that prepared. Been a bit of a rough day today. So, Guru. Let me put this up here. I keep forgetting this here. Forget it all the time. I don't know why. It's my cat again. So it's not good news. So it's been a rough day. Hey Thomas, how's it going? Yeah. So anyways, that's it's got me down a little bit. Didn't get good news. I took her to the vet yesterday again, so I didn't get good news there. But let's try to talk about stuff that is maybe is good news. And what are the Habs going to do over the there's a trade freeze, so they can't actually do anything. But they're going to evaluate the team, and I would imagine they'll be on the phone. Hughes will be on the phone a lot because they can work out deals. They just can't make any deals during the Olympics. So might have something announced like right after. I'm not sure when it's lifted exactly. I know the gold medal game is on the 22nd. And I think, let me just check when they're back. I don't know when the first game for Montreal is after. Just give me a sec. '26th. We've got 2 games at the end of the month. They are home to the Islanders and the Capitals, 26th and 28th. It's good for the team to rest up. That's, except the players that are going to the Olympics. They won't have the dime. So you got Suzuki, Slav. I know Texier's going. Hey, I put 3 on the thumbnail for tomorrow, and I can't remember all 3. It's just one of those days. Kapanen is going as well. And I think there's somebody else. Veleno's going for Italy. And I want to say there's another one. Because there were 4, and then Kapanen. No, and then Veleno got chosen for Italy. So I think there's 5 Habs going. So I don't know exactly when they'll get back. But, if our first game is on the 26th, they'll have 4 days to get home. And so they'll be in the lineup and all that. Should be all fine. So, what kind of moves you guys think might happen? From what I'm hearing from, from Matt's sources, because Matt's got some good sources, Habs are looking for a winger to play on line 1 with Nick and Cole. They are, evaluating what they want to do about the goaltending. My thought on that is I don't think they're going to make any trades for a goalie unless for some reason Monty really just doesn't respond. But we saw he was already doing that in the last game. So I don't think they're going to do anything goaltending wise. I don't think they're going to want to carry 3 by trade for 1 and carry 3 goalies. I don't think they want to do that. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but they're evaluating. As far as that, Patrick Laine, from what I'm reading, they would rather not have to put him back in the lineup. So I think they're going to try to move him and have a deal in place so as soon as the freeze is over, they can announce it, and then he's on his way. I mean, that's what I would think, but we'll see. My friend Ryan, who was on that I met at the Four Nations, and he was on the podcast a couple of times, he just put out an article, and it was funny because I read it and I didn't know who wrote it, and it was kind of sympathetic towards Patrick Laine and in thinking that he should stay here, and if they're going to overlook what Monty's going through and keep him here, basically, they should probably do that with Laine. That's the basic gist of it. And I thought, I don't know who wrote this story, but I think Laine paid him. Then I went up to look who wrote it, and I went, Ryan. Now I don't always agree with Ryan, but I was a little surprised that he had that take on it. Definitely, I don't fully agree with that. I get where he's coming from, but I don't agree with that. So I was surprised by that. But I think they're going to look to have a deal for Laine. I mean, I would think. Phil says, Galley, what? What about Galley? You think they're going to move Galley? Is FTW mean fuck the world? Is that what FTW stands for? Is that what it stands for? That's the only thing I can think of. For the win. Yeah, this is a it's not a game. There's no games. There's no game tonight. Yeah, so anyways, there's that to talk about. There's the Olympic Games themselves. You want to talk about that? The first game is on the 12th. 2 in a row, actually, 12th and 13th. They are both, I believe, they're both 10:30 a.m. starts for Eastern Standard Time. So I'll be doing them both, but it's early. Then I believe the next two are the 3:30 starts. So they're early. They're in the morning, and then you get the afternoon. 3:30 starts in the round robin is the latest start, our time zone. And then for the quarterfinals, semifinals, and medal games, yeah, it depends. I know the gold medal game's at 8 in the morning on a Sunday, so that should be fun. Anyways, there's all that to talk about. I don't know what else. I'm a little. I've been home all day. I've been on social media, and I see what's going on, and my brain's just not fully connected today. So I apologize, but I still felt we needed to do this live stream. I kind of need to do them, and I know I haven't done as many reviews as I wanted to lately. Just I've been kind of tired and a little stressed out with the cat, and so I haven't. But it's because I'm in this program with YouTube, and I got to do them. You know, I've only got so much leeway. So, because I also want the swag that I'm going to get from it. So, but it's a program for membership. So, a YouTube creator program that unfortunately the last 2 or 3 of their little sessions have been at times where I can't make it, so I haven't been involved in too much of it lately, like the last week and a half. All right, while we're in I'll update you on my cat. So y'all know my cat had an operation, and everything was good. It was like it was December 5th, the operation, and she had the stitches out 2 weeks later, and everything's been good till last. Where are we today? We are what day are we? Friday. Middle of last week, another bump formed, and it was like, oh my god, what to do? And it was the same like before. And by Saturday night, it had burst already. So she had this hole again. So I called, made an appointment. We went yesterday. And yeah, it's not good news. She has cancer, a very aggressive form of cancer, and they gave her 2 weeks to a couple of months. So right now, she's at home. It's palliative care. I'm just taking care of her, making her comfortable, giving her antibiotics, and cleaning the wound that's there. And so that's where I'm at, and that's why I'm a bit bummed out today. So I apologize for the mood, but I would think you guys would be able to understand that. So, and yeah, so today I could see it in her today. She's a little different, you know. So I figure probably it is 2 weeks from the look of it right now, but I don't know. I just started giving the antibiotics this morning. That might help. It might help to, lengthen it out a little bit longer. So I don't know yet. And that's where I'm at. All right, anyway, we can get on with the rest of the show now that you know why I'm the way I am today. My birthday's coming up, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. So, yeah, great timing, Anyway, I don't really care about my birthday. It doesn't matter. At my age, birthdays don't matter. Well, I guess I'm right. I'm sort of in a place where they don't matter, but soon, in another few years, they're going to start to matter. As you count down to the end as well. You never know, right? I'm at the age where you never know. You never know, anything can come up. So I'm thinking positively today, aren't I, boys? Not really. All right, so since I dampened the mood, we can take it up a notch. I just wanted to get that off my chest so that I could maybe, instead of holding that back, let you guys know what's going on. But yeah, well, let's talk about the decisions that they have to make. What do you guys think? Where would you see them making a move? And it's kind of, it's not something that's been out there like officially that they're looking for a winger for the line one, but it seems like they are. Who would you want them to acquire? Do you guys have any ideas for a line one winger for Nick and Cole that might be available? That's another thing that might be available. I don't, and I have no idea like what kind of term they're looking for. I have no idea what they're looking for exactly in that sense. So, what kind of ideas? I haven't really thought about it enough, to be honest with you. I haven't. So, as far as wingers go, I don't know. I've got no names. I've heard nobody mentioned. So, what do you guys think? Is anybody here? Am I talking to myself? Hey, Babe Bonnie, how's it going, man? This day in 1943, Ray Gitliff scores 5 times. I'm assuming for Montreal. I mean, I've seen the name before. Am I right, Gitliff? Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but I think that is it. Yeah, I know some of the days are weak. Don't worry. And the last time I tried to do that, it was like there was nothing for, I forget which game it was. It was for a Saturday game, and it was like nothing on this day, like nothing worth talking about. Even what you had was, I had seen that there, but it was weak, I think it was Steve Shutt scored his something goal or 3 goals or something like that in the game. Something like that. All right. Anyway, I've got let's see. It's the Super Bowl this weekend, so imagine a lot of people are going to be busy doing that or with that. I will be not. I may have it on the screen. I don't know if I'm going to watch a lot of it, but I may have it on. I plan to write a little bit. I want to, that poem I did, which I read, but I haven't made a video of the 8 games left to the Olympics. So now I want to actually complete that by going and saying what happened in those 8 games, and then I'm going to do a video on it. That's the plan. But I'm going to sit down to write that. What else am I doing? I'm going to be doing nothing much. Yeah, because it's Super Bowl weekend. Nobody's going to be wanting to watch anything. We will be recording our 80th episode of Habnormals, so that'll come up. I put out a couple of shorts for Habnormals. I don't know if you guys saw them, but I put out a couple of shorts from that episode, the last one. Let's see. No, that's not important for you guys. Next week there is, yes, the games start on the 12th, so that's next week. I can't look at it. Anyway, I'm not sure who we're leading off with. I think Czechia is the first game, Canada. So this week there's no more games, but next week on hang on a second, I'm gonna tell you, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday and Friday. Next week we have I think it's France on Friday and it's Czechia on Thursday. That's what I think. Habs 365 daily stories from the ice. What's that? Is that a book or something? Or that's you're on a mission to do that? I left this open to the public. I was thinking there might be more people come in, so I'm surprised there's not a few more. It's it is a book, yeah. Okay, so you're just okay. See, I looked it up on when I looked it up that day. Just went like this day in history for the Montreal Canadiens and saw like whatever, gave 4 or 5, whatever things there were. Yeah. So nobody's got any ideas for Habs trades? Who they might be looking at for at the trade deadline, or even whether you think they're going to do anything at the trade deadline, because they should be getting Newhook back sometime after the deadline, about a week after or something like that. There's over 400 pages in the book. Well, listen, some days a lot of things happened in their history. I'm sure you know. Line has to go, but no one wants him. That is a possibility. I mean, that is a possibility, right? If they're going to move him too, they're going to have to retain. You got to think they're going to have to retain. What was it? I believe what I've read is that they're willing to retain. The problem is that to get rid of Line, you're probably going to have to also throw in a sweetener, which is an asset of some sort. And apparently they don't want to do that. They don't want to throw an asset to move him. And maybe that is because if they're willing to retain 50%, then you don't have to throw, they don't, throw an asset. I think what they're thinking of is if they send this full contract and you take the full contract, maybe they throw an asset. But if they're going to retain 50%, then no. In my mind, for me, if it were me making the decision, I would give the asset if it would get the job done. Because my friend Ryan, I told you about the article, that his point, I think one of his points is in keeping him, at this time of year, guys get injured. It's good to have the extra body around, a guy that can put the puck in the net on power play anyway, and that kind of, along those lines, I guess. I don't know. I think, listen, if you can move him and you move half his salary, so you're talking about what, 4.35 million. That's 4.35 million you've got in the trade deadline in order to maybe make a move. That'll get you the guy on the first line that you want. Because Line is not going to play on that first line. You need a guy there who can go in the corners, not Line, so that's not going to work. So I don't know. Buyouts don't happen till off season. Buyouts don't happen. By the time a next buyout window is open, he's not a member of the Habs anymore. They just let him walk. So you can't buy out a guy who doesn't have a contract with you. So buyouts don't work. Even retaining is going to be hard to get rid of. I agree with that. I agree. So, but we do have a miracle GM in Kent Hughes, and we'll see if he can do that. If not, I mean, that's what they do. They'll hang on to him. If he plays, he plays. If not, he doesn't. And it's, when the season's over, it's bye-bye Patrick. So, but, maybe, in a playoff season, like if you're thinking, well, Montreal's going to be in one series and they're done, right? That might not be the case. And they could win a little bit. And then the longer they go, having that kind of depth is good. But I don't know. I really lost my support of Line A. I have. I mean, I didn't know the guy couldn't play 5-on-5. Simple as that. You can't play 5-on-5, then where are you going to play him? And you can say, well, you put him on line 1, but you can't. There's no room. There's no room on line 1, line 2. There's no room there in the top 6. And he's not a bottom 6 guy. So where are you going to play him? Anyways, what do you guys think of that? And I think I did answer Bay-Bye there. There's no buyout, so it doesn't look like anything. Buyouts are strictly off-season things, I do believe. And I believe there might be one around the training camp, but that's still off-season, so I don't believe there are any buyout periods once the first games have started. If you don't mind, I'm going to take a one of these kind of breaks while I'm here. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do there. And as far as for a first line winger, I don't know why I can't think of anyone. Not even never mind. This guy might be about. I don't know about that, but I can't even think of anyone, any name that I would go, oh, I'd love to get that guy. I can't. I'm blank tonight. I'm shooting blanks. I had a vasectomy. I did not, but you know what I mean. So if anybody would like to ask another question or bring up another topic, I'm game. Or if you have any ideas on who they might be looking at or targeting to possibly be able to trade for. You know what? I saw one today, defenseman. Stupid meme with a trade prediction. The Habs sending Arbor Jack guy to the Leafs for Simon Benoit. Can you imagine how dumb of a trade proposal that is? At least in my mind, that's a really dumb trade proposal. That's really going to happen. if they happen to send Arbor anywhere, it's not going to be in their division. It's not going to be in their division. It could be as far away as freaking possible, so they only have to play them twice. So if Arbor gets traded, he's going to Western Conference, if you ask me. Is Arbor going to get traded? I doubt it. I would be shocked. I would be shocked and disappointed and very unhappy if they traded Arbor, to be honest with you. You guys are I know there's not a lot of people in the room, but still, you guys are quiet, man. I'm not really in the mood for monologuing tonight, to be honest. Although it's fine. It is distracting me from it a bit. Nothing though, eh? Nothing, honey. Nothing, honey. That's it. That's it. Well, I'll just talk to myself, and I might say some weird things. I don't know. Leave me alone with my own mind. What do you never know what's going to come out. Is this microphone working? All right, let's take a look at what teams they're going to have to play when they get back. So we know they have two home games. I don't know how much they're at home. Yeah, they're back for 2 games I just mentioned earlier. Washington, and I already don't remember the other one. Yikes. Islanders. So they're back for the Islanders, Washington, then they go back on the road for 3 in San Jose. Oh, it's the late night. So this is, I think, the last really late game of the season. They're in San Jose, a 10 p.m. start. I hate that. Then Anaheim 3 days later for a 9 o'clock start. Not as bad. And then the next day, LA, which is an odd 7 o'clock start. So that means it's an afternoon game there. That's not too bad. So Anaheim, LA, San Jose, Islanders, and Washington. First 5 games back after the break. It's not too bad. Not overly difficult on paper, right? Then they got a horrible team, like one of the worst teams in the league right after that. Was actually 2 days after the Kings game. And that's the Toronto Maple Leafs. At home to the Maple Leafs. It's funny, in the first half of March, they've got 2 games against San Jose and 2 against Anaheim. Huh. And one of them is back-to-back, San Jose and Anaheim at home here. You think 3 or 4 out of 5? Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. Islanders are probably beatable. Washington's the team that might be like, they seem to give us trouble, right? San Jose, not that worried about it, although there's Celebrini. That might be a worry. Anaheim, I'm not worried about Anaheim, and LA either, to be honest. And Toronto, of course not. Worried about Toronto. So yeah, I like their chances in those 6 games because I added Toronto. I can see them winning like 4 of those 6 games and maybe an overtime or shootout loss in there as well, and maybe only losing 1 of those games outright, anyways, we'll get to that as they come along. And we're still, but the Olympics started today, right? So still got 19 more days. No, was yesterday the opening ceremonies? 18 more days before they get back, or before it ends, I should say. Hey, Joe, how's it going, Joe? Good to see you out there. I'm not sure if I'm going to watch too much of the Olympics or not. I usually kind of. It depends on where it's on, right? If I get it or not on my TV or at all. But I'd usually leave it on, like leave the TV on, leave it on the Olympics all day and all night, and just have it there and look at it when I want. But I'm not sure I'm going to do that. One reason, I don't feel like seeing the Americans win anything. So I might, avoid. I don't feel like seeing it. I don't feel like seeing Americans celebrate anything. I don't care if the individual athletes aren't bad, and I get that. They're representing the country, so. I've seen a lot of Americans on social media saying it's not an Olympics to be celebrating our love for our country. Obi does like to score versus the Habs. They're a bigger team than us, and they like to bang us around. And the refs oftentimes kind of favor them a little bit. So yeah. You love watching all the events. You don't. I remember you said you didn't like figure skating. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't. There's nothing I particularly don't like. So I just don't feel like seeing any American wins. Italy doesn't seem cold enough to support ice, but it's indoors. So, oh, I see what you're saying though. But no, but as long as it's not like boiling hot, the indoor refrigeration of the ice should be good. I have no idea what the weather's like down there. I imagine it's their winter. I don't know what the weather's like down there. Off the top of my head, let's put it that way. I don't know what Italy is like, what their seasons are like. I don't know why. You think I would know that. I should. In my day, they actually taught us things like that. And obviously, my favorite winter sport is hockey. But what else I like in the Winter Olympics? What else do I like in the Winter Olympics? Hell, I don't know. I don't know if I have anything particular that I like. I don't have anything like I would say, well, I always watch that, but I also don't have much that I don't really like that I can't watch. I'll say that I couldn't watch, because it's the Olympics. So the same thing in the summer though. I also like the Summer Olympics. So what can I say? I do. I like I like all the luge and the bobsleds and all that. I like all that too. Yeah. I like the ski jumping. I like the slalom, the slalom, the skiing, the downhill skiing. I like that. The cross country is not. If they got to stop and shoot, it's not so bad. But but I can still watch it. Whatever. I'm Canadian. Got snow. I can watch it. Pretty much. I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of an event that I don't like necessarily. Even curling, which I never did growing up. I never liked curling. I don't mind. I can watch curling a little bit. I've discovered. Even though I say I don't like curling, I say it to myself, and I can watch it, and I actually enjoy it a little bit. Never tried curling. I don't think once. Oh, I may have once in grade school. Yeah, I think once. I'm at an age where it was so long ago I can't fully remember if I did because it was only the one time if it happened. But yeah, I think when I was living in Ormstown, the first year I was still in grade six. I think we went curling once. So anyway, that would have been 1976 or 77. I think 76. I don't even know. 76 or 77. 76 probably. Australia and New Zealand are big on snowboarding events. Yeah, I never paid attention to that. I mean, I know obviously Canada, US. I've never paid attention to like who the other countries in particular are in those events. Yeah, I don't know. There's some events going on. I don't know what's going on. I haven't tried yet this year. Let's put it that way. The arena is in Milan, and today's temperature was 4. Yeah, but 4 Celsius. Okay, I mean it's not. It's not. I don't think that's enough to affect the indoor rinks. To an indoor rink, do you? It should the ring the ice should be good. Anyway, from what I understand, well, not what I understand is what it is. The women's tournament, I believe, has started. I know there was one game that was postponed for some reason to the 12th, the day that Canada starts in the men's tournament. So, but I believe the women's tournament is on now as far as hockey. I imagine figure skating and all that stuff must be on now. And if I'm correct, like I know in the Summer Olympics, they got like medals handed out like on day 2 or whatever of the games. So I wonder when the first medal will be handed out. Plus, if it were up to me, the U.S. would not be there. I would have banned them. But that's me. I doubt it would happen. I doubt it would happen over what they've done so far, but I would ban them. So you're saying snow events are in Cortina because that's up. Yeah, well that's normal though. Then you'll have the skiing events will be elsewhere. Elsewhere, obviously, either in the country or in the state if it's here in North America or in the province, but it wouldn't necessarily be all in one little area. It's not often, anyways. I don't know if maybe there has been times when everything happens in one little town in the mountains somewhere. there's, there's no way. I just looking over it. There's no way this is going on for almost 40 minutes now. There's no way this has been 40 minutes. I mean, obviously it has because that's what it says, but it feels like we just started. Yeah, I'm losing it tonight. I'm telling you. I don't know what to tell you. tomorrow I am planning to do Saturday Hockey Talk. The only reason I'm saying I'm planning to, and I'm not saying I will be, is I have to go out during the day. Not 100% when I'm coming back, but I mean I should be back in plenty of time. But I won't know till the morning. So if you see it posted, it means I will be back. I don't know what we're going to talk about different than today, but there hopefully will be a bigger variety of people, and there'd be a little more conversation that way. And also, it is February. There are no games because of the Olympics, and I kind of need to do some streams just for that. If you notice that I monetized the stream, although it was pretty useless. I knew there wouldn't be a ton of people, but I monetized it. I was an idiot. I should have demonetized it. So I apologize for making you members have to watch ads to get in. Yeah, Joe, there's a lot of places. Yeah, it doesn't matter necessarily how far, because the athletes that pretty much are going to be skiing and all that in the mountains aren't going to be at the other events. Am I right? So they can be a little farther away. And it's not the first time they've done stuff like that. I mean, here, when the Olympics were here in Montreal, I believe the skiing and all that was done in Tremblant. I think so. So up there. So that's a couple hours away from here. It's not 400 kilometers, but still a couple hour drive. A good distance. Although, did we have the winter? I don't know. I could be like talking out of my ass. Did we have Winter Olympics here? We didn't. I don't know what I'm saying then. Maybe it was Calgary. Calgary, it wasn't all in Calgary. It was in the surrounding areas too, no? Yeah, we didn't have a Winter Olympics here. I think I'm freaking got dementia. We've had skiing events in Tremblant, but I don't think they were Olympic ones. Joe, you said they in those situations they have two opening ceremonies. Don't they have the opening ceremonies wherever the main place, and then the athletes go up to wherever they got to go? No, I know. Though I realized my mistake, Joe. I realized my mistake. We had the Olympics here, but it was the summer ones in '76. I'm sure I was thinking of the Calgary ones when I remember. I'm old. I got dementia. Things are going to happen like that. Can't help it. Hey, I'm coming back on cam soon. 30 seconds. Yeah, make that now. Calgary was the first one, you remember? I'm trying to think now. First ones I remember. I know I remember Olympics obviously before '76. But back in those days, so that would have been '72 in Munich. Yeah, I don't remember them that much. All I remember from Munich Olympics was the athletes being kidnapped and all that. And before that, it would have been '68. I mean, I'm sure I saw some of that. I just don't remember. So really, the first ones I really remember a lot is the '76 Olympics here in Montreal. In 2010, I'm trying to see if I remember. I'm trying to think if I remember that. I kind of. It sounds familiar. Those things happen, right? It's Murphy's Law. If it can go wrong, it will. So, you're putting on an event like that, things are going to go wrong somewhere. That's why I'm sure. I'm sure in Italy they got backup plans. If something happened at the arena, they must have somewhere else that they're ready to go to if they have to. Because even if the building of that arena went better and everything was in place earlier and all that, things could still break down, and they would need to have a backup in case of that. So yeah, Guru, that I remember in Calgary. That's something I remember. No, in 2010, I mean, I remember that they had to make snow. Yeah, I remember that. But I mean, look, Vancouver's not. It's not that cold there in the winter usually. Although depending where you are, right? If you're the more north you are, the worse it is, I guess. But Vancouver is not that north at all, right? Anyway, like I said, I don't know the weather in Italy and like normally in the winter, so I don't know what it's like. So I don't know how cold it gets. I do know that they do get snow and stuff like that. I just don't know how cold it gets there. All right. Anyways, like I'm a little bit surprised that you guys have no ideas about who Montreal might be after, but I didn't have any either, so we can't blame you guys. Anybody that's in here since this started, got any ideas who the Habs are rumored? Well, they're rumored to be looking for a first line winger. Any ideas who they might get? Because we got about roughly 10 minutes left. So we got a little time. Still, nobody. The silence, the silence. Um, yeah, I know. I wish I had more to go on. I haven't really heard much else. Here's an interesting question, and I haven't heard anything today, but one of the U.S. defensemen, another one got knocked out, and I haven't heard if they're going to name Lane Hudson to replace. Trying to remember who got knocked out. So that's something that's out there. I wonder if Lane Hudson's going to go to the Olympics. I kind of don't think so, because I think there was another player that might have been ahead of him if that happened. Kind of also think Bill Guerin doesn't want to have to do that. Guru, I don't think Kadri. First, I don't think Kadri. I mean, Kadri's got the 4 years left at 7 million, which is it's not it's decent money. So I don't think so. Yeah, Lucas, it is McAvoy that may be knocked out of the Olympics. I don't know because he did come back in that game, so I don't know if he is going to not go. So for Montreal, Kadri, from what I hear, that's not a serious rumor. I think earlier in the year they had inquired about Kadri, like kick the tires on Kadri, but I don't know how serious they were. So I don't think that's a serious rumor. I'll say I don't think Habs are still interested in Kadri. Because in my mind, I don't see Kadri as a first line winger. I don't know why, but I don't. So I also don't see him as I think they want to get someone bigger, more physical, a guy that goes into the corners, that fights for the puck and all that. I don't know if Kadri's got that game. I know he's got a mean game, but I don't know if he's the guy that goes into the corners and gets the puck. Joe, yeah, I didn't hear if McAvoy was injured or not, but I remember that he did come back in that game. So I guess there's nothing to that, and which would be why we didn't hear anything of Hudson being added to the team. That would make sense to me. Anyways, but Kadri's just an old name. I'm just wondering if there's any other new rumors or anybody has any ideas of who they feel that the Habs should target. I don't know, but at least now there are some teams that have, I would say, have fallen far enough out of the playoff race that there might be a few more teams that are going to be sellers. So there may be more options out there, and with more teams being sellers, maybe there's no bidding wars and prices for guys would be lower. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, I have no idea, but it wouldn't matter because we talk about whoever, and that would not be who the Habs would go and get. It's always like that. We talk about the whatever rumors, this blah blah, and then they go get like who would have thought that they're going to get that guy, and that's what they do. Anyway, we'll find out soon. It's not that far away now. We are we are exactly 1 month away from the trade deadline. It is going to be on March 6th. March 6th. So we're exactly 1 month away. 4 weeks exactly, because it's a Friday and it is in 28 days. So, and hell, almost 3 weeks of it is going to be taken up by the Olympics. So there's not much time. And the Habs have exactly 3 games between coming back from the Olympics and the Friday of the of the trade deadline. They're going to be in Anaheim, and they are going to be. It's going to be a 9:00 start, and they are going. That's after deadline. So 3 games, yeah. So that's all they'll have. So if they are trying to showcase Laine when we get back, right? They haven't moved him. They don't have a deal for him, right? And they're going to put him out there. It's just 3 games before the deadline for him to show anything that would attract a suitor for him. Lucas, no, there's a freeze right now. What they're allowed to do, I believe, is to make the deal for a trade. Can't announce it till after the Olympic break when the freeze is lifted. So, I mean, the GMs they're talking to each other. They're on the phone, they're talking to each other, they're putting deals together. And though with 3 days, with 3 games basically, and I imagine most teams is going to be 3 or 4 games before the deadline when they get back from the Olympics. There's not a lot of time till the deadline. So yeah, they're making deals right now that they'll announce once they're allowed, I would think. So I mean, I just wonder what the hell he's going to pull off, if he's going to be able to pull off. Because I mean, you never know. Just because we want to get somebody doesn't mean we're going to be able to. Just because they might want to make a trade doesn't mean they're going to be able to. So we'll see. Well, we got last 5 minutes before I'm taking off. If there's anything at all, that you want to ask me, it's the time now. I'll be back tomorrow though for Saturday Hockey Talk. So if anything else comes up, I'm hoping stuff comes up tomorrow during the day that we can talk about. Although I will be out for a good part of the day. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what's going on. That's what's going on. And just reviewing again, did I forget anything? I don't think so. I only forgot to check that off. Oh, there's something I wanted to. There's something. Since you're here, and there's only a few of you, we've got a new. Well, you guys all know about Don't Talk to Media, the other channel. We've got a new podcast starting over there. Next week, I believe. I will be, at least at the beginning of the podcast life, I will be a co-producer and director of it, and all the other things that I do for all the other podcasts. So what I made a new logo for it. So just to show you the logo, we're kind of breaking the news on Pucking Around on Monday, but not a lot of people are gonna see this, so I don't mind. So yeah, it's called. Let me take that thing off up here. Hang on, I gotta go here and do that. It's called Broadway and Breakaways. It's National Predators podcast with Adam Beesman. He is the host that we found. He's I think he's from Nashville and he's living in Boston right now. That's how the boys met him. It was Alex that met him, and so he's going to be starting with us on somewhere around my birthday anyway. So yeah, that's what do you guys think of the logo? Remember, it's Nashville. That's why the guitar. I designed it. I've tweaked it since, but I designed it and the basic look, and it's like, I wasn't happy with it at all. And I put it out there and said, we'll use this for now, until we come up with something better. And everybody loved it. And it was like, oh my God, I have no confidence in myself sometimes. So what do you guys think of that? Let me know in the chat before I go. Guru, and it's funny because I saw a stupid rumor. Jack Eye to Toronto for Simon Benoit. Not happening. No, they'll utilize it. I don't think they're trading Jack Eye. I'd be really shocked and really upset if they did. What's going to happen with Doc? Doc's playing really. He's playing pretty good. We're going to find out soon, right? Because if they're going to not re-sign him because he's an RFA, I guess they actually don't have to move him. I think he's still an RFA. I think. So they're either going to sign him in the off season. Probably it's probably going to be the off season. Because if he's an RFA, he doesn't have much choice in the matter. Or they're going to trade him because it's an expiring contract. But if he's an RFA, it's less likely that they're going to trade him for that reason. Other than that, I really don't know. I think he's playing better. He is starting to look like he's getting some confidence in his game again, in his skating. And his abilities, and he's starting to do some things out there that starting to show some promise. I'll just say that. So I don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I've heard no rumors about them maybe trading him at the deadline or re-signing him. Nothing. Nothing. Lucas, I get where you're coming from, but I feel that there is a small sense of urgency going into these playoffs for them. They have an opportunity here. It's great for their experience and all that. And if I don't think they're going to sell the farm to get any of these things I've been talking about. But I think if they're going to look, and if they can find a deal that makes sense, that makes them better, and doesn't hurt them or create holes anywhere else, then I think they're going to make a deal. Other than that, I think you're right. There's not a lot of necessity. It's not like they have to go out and do something, right? And we've seen this management. They don't break they don't break their plan for the future, their vision. They don't break that. So I think if there is a player to be had in the position that they're looking to add, and it doesn't hurt them in getting him, it doesn't create a problem elsewhere, I think they do it, you know. But they're not going to make a trade just to make a trade. That they will not do. Joe, yeah, the Predators are in the Western Conference. It's part of. I've talked about it before on that channel. We're trying to figure out what our focus is, and the NHL is a really tough niche on YouTube to get any notice in, and I came up with the idea that we should, if we're not going to do regular videos and we're just doing podcasts and stuff like that, then let's try to get a podcast for every team in the league. And since then, this is the first one. So it's finally starting to happen. And yeah, it's Nashville Predators. That just happens to be the first guy that we were able to connect with that was serious about it. Now, if to say something about Adam has gone to school for broadcasting. Exactly how, I don't know exactly, but he has some experience. In college, he did college radio. So he's got some experience in that, and he's got some knowledge of hockey. He knows his hockey. He just happens to be a Preds fan, but he's from Nashville. So hopefully, when it's out there, you guys will check it out. And if if you haven't already gone over to Don't Puck and you hit that subscribe button, we'd appreciate it. We're trying to get to 500 over there. It's been tough, man. I'm talking Habs. You know what? Also, how YouTube is run now and how the algorithm works makes it even harder to get subs and all that. But man, my first year, 13 months, I was over 1,000. Over there, we're 2 years already, and 341, I think we're sitting on right now. It's like this. It's not even close, but it's the algorithm and how all that works. It's harder now. Anyway, so we're very proud of that. My vision is starting to. My idea of I guess my vision, because it's an idea I came up with. Well, if you guys remember back a couple of years where who was it? It was me, Matt, and Harry. It was before Harry took off. We almost had a podcast job on a website, and that's what they were doing. They were trying to gather a podcast for every team. So I just thought, when the boys didn't want to be doing videos, like regular kind of videos and all that, and they just want to be doing these podcasts, so let's do that with that channel. And so that's what we're doing. So it's not like an original idea, but still. That's a good idea, Lucas. And you know what? He will be on the pod on Monday. We're doing a live. It's the 100th episode of Pucking Around, so it's going to be a live episode on Monday on the other channel. He's going to be coming in for the first part of the episode. So you'll be able to, if you want to come over there, you'll be able to ask him questions and say hi. And toss out that idea there. I'm actually going to write it down because I think that is a good idea. Now, he is not my age, He's more your guys' age, but I mean, that's recent enough that it shouldn't be a problem. I'm gonna see him there, so I'm gonna write it here. Give me a sec. Let's see if I got it right. Yeah, just to get his perspective. Yeah, there you go. All right, I'm gonna do that. So tune in. Don't forget to tune in. Or check it out on our replay. That's fine as well, obviously. But yeah, so we're gonna do that on Monday. I'll get water after. All right. Anyways, time for me to take off here. I'm a little over what I was gonna do. I will, like I said, be back tomorrow for Saturday hockey talk. I'm not sure if it's going to be 8 or 9 o'clock. That's really what it is. I'll be home for sure by 9. That's for sure. So it'll be either 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock tomorrow night. So if you want to come back in for that, and we'll have a lot more people to talk about different stuff. And you never know, there might be news tomorrow. Well, there won't be any trade news because they can't, but you never know. All right. Thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate it as always. I just don't know what else to say. Just we'll see you soon. And have a good rest of the night. And that's it. Thanks for being here. Till next time. Stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. And have a good night. And I'll be back. I'll be back in your lives with this ugly face before you know it. Ciao, everybody. Appreciate you guys being here. And I totally now forgot what I'm supposed to do. One of those days. Ciao, everybody.